Thanks again for joining me for Katy's Corner. I'm here with Jack Lyon, who is has a very big presence in our Salem office. He's the site leader. Tell us what you do.
Yeah, so I head up the supply chain for
What's
Extreme.
your title?
Vice President of Supply Chain. I work for Norman Rice. I'm resident in the Salem office. I am the site leader.
Site leader.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's a great site. I think we do a lot of cool, fun, exciting things.
Yeah.
All the way from getting folks together, but also a lot of charity type work
Yeah.
too. So the team there is very, very responsive.
It's the largest site, or it kind of goes back and forth with San Jose now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
had been the largest site for a long time.
It has,
Just within a few people.
Yep.
It's number 2 now, I think. But
Yep.
so how many people?
Roughly 4 to 450.
Yeah.
Highly on the engineering side. A lot of engineers in that site.
Yeah.
But it is a good cross-functional group. I
Yeah.
mean, we have supply chain, we have marketing. We also have a GTAC as well, which is a pretty big representation of the site.
What I love about your office is that it's so stable.
Yep.
So tell me, you've also been around for a long time. So tell us how long you've been around
Yep.
and kind of the legacy of the
Sure,
Salem office.
sure. So in November it'll be my 20th year. So
gosh.
I've been here a while.
Since you were
Yeah,
7.
yeah. No, I wish. But through the number of acquisitions, as many of the Salem folks too, right?
Yeah.
It's a long tenured group.
Yeah.
Which,
So tell me about that, because I think some people may not know.
Yeah. So basically, the Salem site originally was the headquarters for Enterasys, right?
Yeah.
So Enterasys was acquired by Extreme probably 5 years ago. The group, the strong engineering presence, a lot of development that's being done on that site, software development. So that basically it's a group that's been together and solid.
Yeah.
And we just we continue to grow. The marketing group is growing in that space. GTAC grows in that space. A lot of long tenured people. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you mentioned a couple of really good things. I have so much I want to ask you about.
Right.
So tell me about Excite in Salem, because
Yep.
you guys do some amazing
We
work.
do,
And
we
I
do.
love the charity work
Yep.
that you do.
So Excite, it's a group probably about 10 or 11 people that have been together for 3 years. In many cases, it's autopilot, and I think there's things we can be doing differently. So build upon what we're doing.
Yeah.
There's a number of things we want to do, right? I mean, we try to focus, at least have 2 or 3 events that get the team together on a quarterly basis. So that this quarter, St. Patty's Day falls in that.
Yeah.
It's a
big deal.
It's a
in
big deal.
Salem.
And yeah, there's a great, we typically put on a luncheon and we do other cool things for that as well. So it's stuff like that. It's getting groups together. But it was interesting. I was having a conversation with one of the employees that wants to expand it. Right, we probably have 40 to 45% participation. So how do we get the balance, right? How do we get the other people that aren't necessarily liking what we're doing to get more involved?
Right.
So we want to grow it, we want to expand it, we want to take initiatives to get everybody involved.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, so much to ask you about. So you have a huge amount of, probably one of the most spend is in your group in the supply chain.
Yeah.
So tell us just really high level, because you're responsible for buying and building the products.
Yeah. So essentially, my team, I would say cuts the biggest check on a quarterly basis within the company, right? So we basically have our ODMs that are supporting us from a manufacturing standpoint that we're buying inventory from. It's if we don't do it right, it presents a lot of challenges. So if we don't buy the right mix, our inventory goes up, our cash goes out, we don't get it recovered because it's sitting on the shelf. So a lot of pride in taking that ownership of that, driving the inventory turns down, making sure that we're meeting and hitting Bob's revenue target. So it's a daunting task.
So
but
your
we step
kind
up.
of thumb is on the pulse of our financials in a
It
really
is,
big
yeah.
way.
We definitely influence it. As my team looks at working with the suppliers to take cost out, we impact gross margins. If we can't support the orders that as they come in, we impact revenue. So we definitely have
You have a huge impact
on
which is good.
success.
It's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we're doing this is for the women's channel.
Yep.
So tell me, you have one.
So I was basically told last night that I think I have probably one of the biggest groups of women within the company, Right?
Oh wow!
So if I
Is
look
that
at
in terms of the Salem office?
nope, that's in
Or
terms of supply
chain?
chain. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So so if I look
yeah,
at
tell me
my,
about that.
my teams across the globe, I have order management, which is probably 80% women.
Wow.
Our Taiwan office is very populated with buyer planners that are
Mm-hmm.
women. So yeah, I was pretty excited to hear that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, we're helping the metric.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And you have one child, a son or a
I
daughter?
do. I have a daughter, 23-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Just graduated college.
Wow,
She's working. Yeah, she's working in Boston out on her own. She
That's
works for the
awesome.
NICU at Beth Israel Hospital, and she
Oh,
loves
great.
it. Yeah.
That's a big job.
Yeah.
So what are your kind of hopes and dreams for her?
To do better than I am.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, no. Basically, my hope and dream is that she finds passion in what she does, and
Yeah.
drives success, and
Yeah.
basically is happy. I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing.
What do you think is like the biggest challenge for women at Extreme?
Honestly, that's a tough question. I hope that there isn't. I look at it as it doesn't matter to me whether it's a woman or a male, right? If you can do the job.
Yeah, you need A players.
A players, right? So I'm open for either.
Yeah, good.
But I don't. I mean, hopefully there isn't challenges or barriers.
Right.
And if there are, I think we're breaking them down.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you have such a huge job.
Okay.
I'm always afraid to call you because I'm like, Jack's carrying a big load. So thanks for everything that you
great.
do,
I'm
and you
glad
work so hard, and
thank you.
you've got so much responsibility, and you're definitely having a huge impact on the
Perfect.
company.
Great.
So thanks a lot
Awesome.
for that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.